Good evening. Today is Monday, October 20th, 2025 at 7 p.m. I'd like to call to order the regular Board of Selectmen's meeting.
Linda Bravo.
Troy Lemire.
Paul Marino.
Paul Harrington.
Todd Archelashi.
Glenn Albanesius.
William Hester.
Hi, Candy Perez.
William Pozo.
And before we have Pledge of Allegiance, about 2 weeks ago, former Mayor Nancy Eisenmore passed away. So if we could just have a quick moment of silence for former Mayor Eisenmore. Thank you. Please join me for Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3, agenda review. Does anyone have anything? Seeing nothing. Moving on to item 4, approval of the minutes of our regular meeting on October 6th.
So moved. Second.
I have just one correction.
Okay, discussion. Linda?
Page 2, item 10,
Item
the
10.
vote. I think the vote were 5 yes and 1 abstain instead of 6.
That would be correct, I would imagine, because Ms. Selectwoman Perez wasn't here.
Correct. Anything else?
Yeah.
We need to amend the motion for the correction.
So motion was to approve, then it was seconded, then we went into discussion, so I would then subtract the motion to approve and then do a motion to approve as amended.
So moved. So moved. Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? 601. Thank you. Moving on to item number 5, citizens' comments. The Board of Selectmen welcomes public comments. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes and may speak once. Does anyone wish to speak? Moving on to item number 6, town manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, Board. I'll start off with our Eversource gas main project update. Eversource remains on schedule to complete its gas infrastructure upgrades by the second week of November. The major pipeline work is finished. The only remaining tasks are running the laterals and attaching the new gas meters to each of the buildings. Coordination with the property owners has been fairly smooth after an initial hiccup where Eversource thought they were going to install the gas mains on the sidewalk. We quickly addressed that problem and took care of that. So good news is that they are on schedule and they should be out of town by the second week of November. The road will remain the way it looks now, and then they will be back next spring. They will mill it down. I am still trying to work from curb to curb because I think it was only right because that road was very nice before they ripped it up. No answers on that yet, but then they're going to come back, mill it. They'll put a coat down, then they'll come back and put a final coat down, as you know, that they are going to do it right. But my big fight, or the town's big fight right now, is I want them to go curb to curb from when they come in and do the paving work on it. But I do want to thank everyone for their patience and cooperation throughout this project. I know it hasn't been such an easy summer and fall, but we're getting there, and now we have a good pipe in the ground and less likelihood of any bad things happening with our gas lines. Moving on, the manufacturing tour continues. We visited Catico and HO products. Visiting Catico was real eye-opening, not just for their scale and quality of their operations, but their inventiveness behind their products. And if you didn't know, Catico was actually recently named one of the top 50 companies to work for in Connecticut. Absolutely was blown away by their operation, and their team graciously let us sample some of the food that's cooked in their equipment at the end of the tour, so that was always a good day. And today we stopped up at HO Products, and I was just absolutely struck by the level of precision and dedication that goes into meeting their customers' needs. Both Catico and HO Products have deep roots in Winchester and remain committed to our community. They're not looking to go anywhere. You know, when I sat down and met with management and or, you know, owners of the company, they're really excited to see the direction, you know, Winsted has been in and continues to move in. On a different note, I did receive an email from Hubbell's management. If you remember a few weeks back, I did visit Hubbell, and it was nice to get an email like this, and I typically don't share these type of emails, but Bob Brown, who manages Hubbell down there, he wrote a quick thank you, and he appreciated that, you know, when his contractor came in, the permit application went very smoothly, and they had the permit almost immediately, and that the chief actually stopped them on the road when the chief was out there one day and said, hey, we're gonna make sure we step up enforcement. The town manager brought to our attention that you had some vandals that were coming in, stealing some scrap metal. So it was nice to hear from management of one of our big businesses in town that he appreciates the work that the town's been doing. Moving on, I know most of you were there. On October 8th, we hosted the Economic Development Commission's event over at Little Red Barn for our new promotional video. I thought the feedback was overwhelmingly positive. The audience seemed generally impressed. The video has already been shared almost 100 times. The reason I put this on my report is I want it shared more times. If you can, please go to our Facebook page, find the video. It's not too far down. Hit the little share button and share it with your audience. We are working with our website provider now. We're looking to add that video to our website, but we're looking to do it in shorter shorts, as they call it, and hopefully that will launch by the end of the week. I'm working hard to get that up there because I think the video is really done well, and I want it on our website, so I'm working with Evan and hope to get that up on our website by the end of this week. Sustainable CT, our bronze certification is actually expiring at the end of March. We met with the Sustainable CT people. It's a lift to maintain the bronze level, but I've challenged our team here, and minimally we'll go for bronze, but I think we want to go for silver status this time around. Maintaining the certification just helps us stand out when applying for state and federal grants, and it gives us just that little extra edge, so it's worth that a little extra time. Get the certification. Hopefully we can get silver. More on that later, but just to let you know that Sustainable CT certification is expiring at the start of 2026, and we're going to be on it to minimally keep with our bronze certification, but possibly jump up to silver. Labor relations, we recently brought in a mediator to assist with our clerical union negotiations, and are pleased to report a tentative agreement has been reached. While finalizing the contract will be slightly delayed, our labor attorney does have a personal matter he's dealing with out west. We will get that contract written up and presented to you all probably sometime late December, beginning of January. And then our supervisors union will be meeting with us on October 30th with the same mediator. We're very optimistic that we'll have a very similar outcome. Here's a fun update. The 2027 budget development process has officially kicked off. Department heads met last week to coordinate our capital improvement plan. We reviewed historical funding, identified potential challenges for the upcoming year. Strategic planning is now and will help us address the priorities more effectively, ensure that Winchester continues to make smart, targeted investments in our future. So we are off and running for our 2027 budget that's due to you all on March 15th. Wallens Hill RFP update. As you remember at the last Board of Selectmen meeting, I walked out of that meeting ready to post our proposal of the 118 acres up on Wallens Hill. It's a significant opportunity for Winchester. RFQ's responses are due by December 1st, 2025. 7-member evaluation panel will be selected. 3 preferred developers will come from that 7-panel board, and then obviously brought into the Board of Selectmen, and then eventually obviously out. The proposals are due on or before February 2nd. I will tell you that since we've launched the RFQ, the phone has been steady. We've had huge developers from all over the country literally call on a Tuesday and fly in on a Wednesday morning and go up to and do a site walk. We are still waiting for Apex to do the infrastructure study. They hope to have it done this week. I read an email just before coming down here. As soon as that infrastructure report obviously is available, we're gonna push that out there as soon as we possibly can. All signs so far look very positive. I don't wanna jinx us, but I'll just say Apex has given us very good thumbs up lately, but the response for the RFP for Wallens is not just getting local attention, it is getting national attention, which is very, very exciting. What it all means, we're gonna find out in the future. Sue Grossman, Still River Greenway, the ad hoc committee, by the way, sidebar, they're one of the hardest working committees of volunteers that I've seen put together. They meet consistently, they come in with a plan, they really want this project done. It's just exciting when you sit down and meet with them. But they're making good progress. They're identifying a tentative preferred route, pending completion of property easements and environmental review. Jeff and I are with our town attorney right now to start talking about easements and exactly what they look like. We're meeting again Thursday, and we hope to present a lot of good information to that group. You'll see later on in the agenda, there's a trail grant that the state of Connecticut's offering, and potential action by this board if it so sees fit. And last but not least, Safe Streets for All Committee held their first meeting on October 7th at Town Hall. Drew a diverse, engaged group of residents alongside of town staff. Even in the early stages, there's been a lot of thoughtful discussion and fresh ideas. The town's RFQ for a consultant to lead our Vision Zero action plan is live on our town's website. Once the firm is selected, the committee will work closely with them to shape the plan and help guide Winchester towards safer streets for everyone. Again, that Safe Streets for All committee and the consultant is all paid for by a grant, and there isn't any expenditure on the town side. With that, I'll open it up for any questions that the board may have.
Questions?
One quick one. You said Eversource is gonna be wrapped up and that they'll be back in the spring. Have we checked with every possible agency, if there's anything else planned for Main Street, water, sewer, the cable company, everybody, so that we don't pave that and in June we tear it up again? Because
You know, it's a great question. Typically, before any of those major things are done, Eversource is always reaching out. It's what you saw up on Bridge Street, but I'm gonna double check, so I don't wanna say that's 100% sure, because I know I wasn't involved in those conversations. But I'm gonna write that down and make sure, hey, if we're gonna rip the road up, let's rip it up before we put a
just
final
because
grade down.
We've seen it in the past, Paul, where
Yep.
we're all done and we go, wow, that looks beautiful, and 2 months later, hey, the cable company needs to put a fiber optic under 44.
Well, the interesting thing is Bob Geiger held them for 2 years on paving so that we could do our work on the streets. And then Eversource just popped up this year with their gas. But it has been held before. When the state did their major pave, they held it for, what was it, Todd, like, I thought it was like 2 years, year and a
Probably
half?
2 years, year and a half.
I know that all of the agencies do tend to work together, but it's definitely worth, it's down on my notepad, it's definitely worth, you know, making sure that we do this once, so.
Andy?
Yeah, the safe streets, did you review the last plan? And the only reason I'm asking that is I was cleaning out papers. I was looking through it yesterday. I have the last safe streets plan.
I didn't know there was a Safe Streets plan that existed.
Yeah, when we did the whole intersection for the Bridge Street, that's part of safe, was part of the safe street
Can
thing.
you send that to me?
I will bring it to you.
You'll bring it to me, even better. Okay.
Okay, I gotta get rid of things out of the house. And then the second thing, I might have missed it from last week, but what about 508? Where are we on that?
So 508, if you haven't looked, it is available on the town's website. Currently, right now, we have 3 RFQs and RFPs. My goal is to probably bring that to the November 3rd meeting. I don't want to say too much, but I'll say it. I was blown away by one of the RFQs that came in. Absolutely blown away. I'm not going to share which one, but I was just waiting to see if any further ones came in. But I think this board will be very impressed with what has come in. Each one is very unique, and I really think people understood what we were asking for when you see the information that they provided and their vision of what that building could look like.
Anything else? Moving on to item number 7, Finance Director's Report. In lieu of our Finance Director,
It's me
Manager
again.
Harrington.
All right, so currently, current property taxes, year-to-date, $16,176,677, which is 55.42% of our budget. Prior year being $14,273,990, 52.19%. Past due taxes, $148,073, 42.31% of the budget, and prior year was at $125,766, 20.96 of the budget. Total revenue, $17,309,665, representing 42.20% of the budget, compared to last year at $15,181,618, 37.20% of the budget. Expenditures to date, and this is obviously as of September 30th, $11,552,403, which is roughly 28.16% of the budget, compared to last year being $11,773,190,000, 28.85%. I'll note, obviously, our expenditures are slightly lower than last year, which is good to see. Cash flow currently right now in the general fund as of September 30th, $26,483,232. I think it's very important to note that I have had eyes on the actual bank statements to verify that there is that money in the bank. So currently, $26,483,232. Invested, $20,793,508 in the Northwest Community Bank suite, $457,034. Stiff has $2.6 million in account 9127, which Northwest Community Bank money market, $17,748,859. Capital projects through September 2025, we had $46,270 for the Elm Street Firehouse roof repair, $43,343 for a plow truck lease payment, annual road maintenance, $190,462, Public Works facility upgrade, $2,000, annual computer replacements, $11,246, Price Road, Price Road, $9,910, which is bond, Wani Road, $25,383, which is bond, and drainage at Highland Lake, $33,484, which is bond as well. With that, I would open it to any questions on finance reports.
Questions? Andy?
Yeah, I asked this last year, and we try to ask it every year. And there was one that Bruce had done, which was a 5-year projection. And do we have forecasts?
Anne Marie is working on that. There were two projects that, that was one of the projects, and the other one was showing the amount spent for each project on the bond. We hope to have that here on November 3rd to show the 5-year projection and also on the bond projects of what money was spent. She has been working on that diligently. She got called away last minute, and we hope to have that done by the November 3rd meeting. Yes.
Other questions? Item 8, correspondence. Does anyone have anything? Item 9, boards and commissions. Bill?
Here, this is on the table.
Perfect. So we have one individual up for appointment tonight. The date was 10/2/2025, Thomas Cook, for Zoning Board of Appeals, Party Republican, as an alternate. Term end date 5/2029.
I make a motion to appoint Thomas Cook, zoning board of appeals, alternate member, term ending 5/2029.
Thank you, Troy. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Paul. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor? Unanimous? Thank you. That it, Bill?
That's it.
Moving on to item 10, unfinished business. We have no unfinished business. Item 11,
Excuse me.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
presentation by the registrars of voters, demonstrations of the new voting tabulators. Debbie?
So with us tonight is obviously our Register of Voters. They've had a very long day. Sure, it's probably going to come up under Selectmen's comments, but early voting has officially kicked off today at 8 a.m.? 10 a.m., 10 to 6. And we do have our new fancy tabulators from the state of Connecticut. I think and these are just like in every other town, but the registrars wanted to take this opportunity to not only share with this board, but also to our viewing public of how fancy these things really are. If you guys don't mind, can you hit the microphone and kind of stand near that, because the public watching at home won't be able to hear you. See the little red microphone blinking at you? Just hit any one of those and it's going to turn green on you. There you go.
Okay, well, thank you for allowing us to come tonight to show you our new tabulator. We wanted to give you all an opportunity to vote, so every one of you do have a ballot in front of you. And you can answer the questions and eventually drop the ballots off from the tabulator. You'll see that the screen gives you a message, which is different from our previous tabulator.
There's a screen, and as soon as you put your ballot in, it will give you a message that either it was accepted or it was rejected. And it's rejected for whatever reason, and it will tell you why. You can either send the ballot in or take it back out. And they ask you what you want to do, and you press a button, and if you want to just do it anyway, it'll go through. And whatever you voted on that is not wrong, so to speak, like a double vote or something like that, it will count those votes, but it won't count the vote that's wrong. Got that? And then, if you decide that you don't want it to put it in, it will come back out, you go back to the ballot clerk, excuse me, go back to the ballot clerk and get a new one, and do it correctly. Any questions? Yes.
And there are questions on the back side of your ballot as well. There will be a tabulator tender who will be standing off to the side to assist. In the past, usually it was just the ballot kind of shot back out, and we had a little screen that would say in the tender, the tabulator tender would read to the voter what the issue was, but now it's going to show up on the screen so the voter actually will see and have the opportunity to make the decision. So I'm going to start out with a totally unvoted ballot.
They can't see the
Okay,
message.
but the
People,
people behind us can. Okay, so this blank ballot says you have made no selections on this ballot. And it's asking me if I would like to return it or cast the blank ballot. So I'm going to hit return, and then the tabulator tender would say to the voter, says your vote was not cast. You know, you haven't filled in anything, and please go back and fill in the bubbles for whoever you would like to vote, however you would like to vote. We now have one that has too many votes on it. And the message comes up that we chose too many favorite dog breeds, too many favorite beaches, and just everything was overvoted on. And it's the same thing. We can have that return, and then you take that ballot back to the ballot clerk, and they'll issue you a new ballot. Or if you don't care, so we want to return it because we really want to vote.
So you notice what Debbie said is that it will tell you where your vote is wrong. In other words, in the other one, it just said, double voter or whatever it said. This actually shows you where you made the mistake, where you have a double vote or too many little circles.
Okay, so the next one
That's the item.
does have an overvote on one of the questions. And it specifically tells me that I overvoted, I chose too many favorite dog breeds. But I want to cast it because I don't have time, and that's the only one that's not going to be counted. The other questions on my ballot will get counted. So I'm casting my ballot. And it says, thank you for voting, your ballot has been counted. And the last one is a perfect ballot. And it just goes through and says, thank you for voting, your ballot has been counted. So would all of you like to come up and just try it?
Deb, if I may, and only because I talk with both of you, weekly. Can we explain to the board and then also to our residents how many of those tablets we actually have and the process of how this all looks now? Because I was amazed when I walked into the room, and I won't say the number because I want you all to, but explain, how many we have and why we have as many as we have.
So we were allotted 7 tabulators, and for each tabulator, we have a backup. So we have the voting at the poll at Pearson School. We have an absentee ballot tabulator. We have an early voting tabulator. We have a same-day registration tabulator, and backups for those.
I was amazed. When I walked in, I was simply blown away by how many we had. And then they walked me through the same-day registration, absentee ballots, and then there's backups for each one of them. So simply blown away. And then one other question, and maybe I don't know, and I think it's an important question to ask. So in the old machines, when it rejected a ballot, was there ever an option where the voter got a new ballot?
No, you got a new vote, a ballot. If it didn't go in correctly, it was kicked out.
Yep.
And then you took your ballot back to the ballot clerk and got a new one.
Okay.
But the worker had to explain to the voter. Now the voter is actually going to be able to read it themselves on this screen to tell them exactly where they have the problem.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just had a question. I don't know if you necessarily know the answer, but are these connected to the internet in any way?
No.
They are not. Good.
Right.
Yeah, my question is, so you have 4 tabulators counting the ballots. How do they get merged at the end of the night? Is it by hand, or is it fed into, or do they talk to each other, or how does that work?
And they print out a ticket on each one? or-
Okay, so there's a USB stick
Yep.
that goes into the tabulator and records everything that's going on.
Right.
And then so there's 4 of them.
Yep.
Each of those goes into a specific, only use laptop.
Never
And
touches the internet.
Right, nothing touches the internet. It's a separate thing that the company gave us, and you stick your sticks in,
Yep.
and that records
Totals.
the totals of each of the machines, and then gives you a total at the end for all of it.
So this is gonna streamline the counting at the end.
Right, instead of having to
Hand do it.
look at all the tapes, and that's what always drags us down. We got all of these tapes, plus hand counted, and any other extraneous. And then you have to get the totals, and then it has to be sent. It will be the same this year in that we have to send it through
The old way.
the old way to Secretary of State's office. But eventually, everything will be all in here, and the information will all go to the Secretary of State's office.
So we will have to read the totals on the tapes this year, because they haven't completed the program, the
Yep.
reporting program. But next year, we should be able to do it the way that Barbara just described.
Right, yeah, because, I don't know, I know this past year and the year before, it just seemed like,
It gets dragged out.
well, it not only gets dragged out, it's kind of unfair for people that have been working all day to be there and putting numbers into a computer, and then the numbers not adding up, and then everybody, having to, spend a lot of time going back and checking it, so, that's why I was wondering how they were gonna do it, but if it's gonna be the same way as it was last year with the numbers, I would ask that there be more people at the polls at the end of the night, maybe a fresh person with eyes that haven't been going since 5 o'clock in the morning, to help put those into any spreadsheet, doesn't matter which one, as a backup.
So my question is, did the state mandate us to have this?
We all have the exact same tabulators in every town in
Every
Connecticut.
town?
Yes,
And who paid for them?
the state.
The state paid for them, okay. And now the ballots are our costs,
Yes.
and it's only one company that you can get these through, and they're very expensive,
We can
or?
get it through the local company in Connecticut that we have been purchasing them for years, or the company that who built these tabulators also provide, the opportunity to get their ballots as well, so we have two options.
So for the people out there that are watching on TV,
Yeah.
what's the difference in cost from the old ones to these? Cause I
think
remember
it's-
we talked about that
I
at one
don't think
point.
there was a price increase.
The only difference this year was they are color-coded, and they have to be. In the past, they weren't, so my cost went, for the absentees, went from 35 cents to 37 cents. And I ordered 80 absentee ballots. My bill was $20-something.
Are the absentee or mail-in are they all the same form? So when we receive them, they just go into the tabulator,
Yeah,
someone
with the
feeds them
exception
in?
of, there are different color codes depending upon what kind of ballot it is. Mine is yellow as an absentee, and then I think the others were green and blue, and depending on what they were.
And the poll ballot, the ones that we use at the poll is just a white ballot. The price, I know what you're referring to.
To the
cost of
referendum.
the ballot. When we would have a referendum, we could buy our own blank ballots. And we could make up the question, and it was a quarter of the price. This company, at the onset of, signing up with them, told us that they didn't provide that they had never been requested to do this. Well, other towns in Connecticut were doing the same thing that we were doing in Winchester. So they are working on being able to come
Give
up
us
with
the
something that we
opportunity.
can
Yeah.
use.
All right, that's
That would
good.
be much
Yeah,
cheaper.
yeah. It's
The
all about
ballots-
the money.
So
The
that's
ballots
where
that
we
get
were spending a lot of
rejected,
money.
the
Sorry?
ballots that get rejected and brought back to the clerk, what happens to those? Do they get marked as?
Yeah,
marked.
Or-
Those little things on the sides get,
Okay.
a line through it, and then they, a void, it goes into an envelope, and, void is written on the
Okay.
outside of the envelope.
And
So
we
it'll
keep track of it.
clearly,
And then we-
clearly be marked that
Right.
they're
Yeah.
not proper ballots.
Yes.
So if someone's ballot were to pop out of the tabulator, the tender would come up and put something over the ballot so that she's not reading, he or she is not reading it, and then putting it into a folder. And they are then directed where they can go and receive another, do the switch,
Okay.
get another ballot. So it's,
Other questions?
I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
And the ballot is the same where it can go either way, upside down. backwards.
Yep, anyway. And the two ladies in the back already did it, so,
Early voting.
early voting, yes, for dogs, yes.
she put it in upside down, and it still read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very,
And that's the way the other ones. work.
That's- yeah, okay.
You can put it in any way you want it to.
might have been a reason for that.
I don't know, in my lifetime, I think I've seen
follow
that
directions, can you believe it?
different.
I remember the old, yeah, I love those. And then it counted when you opened up. Of course.
Town clerk? Oh.
Yeah, it would calculate when you opened the curtain, it would disappear.
I didn't know she was gonna go through and have all the possible
What
outcomes.
what was your fault?
I purposely double voted on the, Saturday.
Ah.
So we will be keeping this set up in our office, and we'll post signs if anyone would like to come in and try it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, have somebody in the.
That, you know, and we'll put it on the website too, to invite people to come into the office if they want
You
to.
wanna get it back and get a new one?
I don't.
So where are we storing all these
So,
things?
so what I did is I scribbled out one of the circles, like I made a mistake, and I scribbled right through it,
Right,
so it still caught it.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Are these have to be locked before the
That's what I'm
votes,
asking,
like
yeah.
the last
Oh,
ones,
yeah, they're
like the
locked.
30 days before?
Yes, so we have a closet that we've been given at Pearson that is only privy to us, that will lock the 5 of the 7 that are going over to, the poll, Pearson. And then 2 will stay here, in town hall and be locked up.
Is
One
there-
is gonna be the demonstrator, and the other one will be for early voting. Unfortunately, they didn't pass the law soon enough that we could use the tabulator for early voting, so we're doing the old, putting them into the envelopes and into the ballot box for another year.
But it's,
Oh, and then you'll have to open
but
it.
it's 30 days, they have to, was it 30 days they have to be locked before an election?
We have to do it 10 days.
10 days now?
We've done it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Were you gonna tally tonight? Is that a possibility?
No,
I just wanna, well,
You just wanna know which dog won?
no, no, I purposely did a write-in, because I wanted to see how that would
oh, okay.
Yeah, I did it right too.
tabulate. Oh,
just
did
to-
you?
yeah.
I just,
Oh, I did
well,
too.
everybody's.
Even though I scribbled.
We didn't set it up so that you could actually get the totals, so.
Well, let me know how many votes Meatball got,
Okay.
when you guys do that.
Okay.
Other questions?
And I'll just put out there is, you know, they talked about a computer, and the state did graciously, I mean, they definitely, not only to our town, but all the 168 other towns, all this stuff was purchased through the state for us and all the other towns.
Well, you
So-
know who that is, we're still paying for it.
We just have to take care of that.
Yes.
I mean, I
Is
think
there
I-
like an annual maintenance
We
on
do
them?
have maintenance agreement.
So what happened to the box that's outside?
Oh, that's.
Well,
that still
that's
can be
one
used
that's
too?
on clerk.
That's still there.
They're still using that?
That's absentee.
So they provided you with backups for, so you said 5 are going to Pearson, 3 are staying here, which leaves you 7 more, correct?
No. The backup is actually only one tabulator, because we're using 4 different tabulators for those things that we already named off. And there'll be one backup.
Oh, okay, so
So
not a
that
backup
makes
for
the 5.
each individual?
Correct.
Okay,
And so that makes the 5 and plus the 2 that'll stay here.
okay, okay. And did they give you backups for the USBs?
Yes. Well, we haven't paid
We
for
haven't
it.
purchased them.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
another thing, that's another
Yeah.
expense, we have to,
Yeah, there's all kinds of additional expenses,
right.
you know, in addition to the ballots, to get this up and running.
Are those USBs one-time use?
Yes.
Only, no, just one, the one that we download, to get the information is we have to throw away it when we're done with it. It's not gonna touch the state, laptop.
So am I wrong that we only had one tabulator forever
No, we actually have 3,
at the same time?
yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember going in to see 3
We
tabulators
kept
in
them off
there.
to the side and kept them covered, and, you know, we just had them there as a backup in case we.
Yeah, but that's my question. Are we gonna be using 3 tabulators at the same time to
Not
like
at the
speed
same
up
time.
voting?
No,
So only 1 tabulator again?
right, so you're gonna be going to Pearson, and voting on 1 tabulator. We're gonna have the spare, you know, on the side. We also will have the same day registration tabulator there, so when we have those ballots, they'll go through, only those ballots will go through it. The same with the absentee, and then the same with the early voting ballots.
Yeah, 'cause like some towns, like Torrington or whatever, there's probably a line waiting to get to that machine. If you had a couple of them, it would speed up the voting, so.
So, for instance, next year, you know, it will be a gubernatorial year. We'll probably have 2 operating
Running at the same time,
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure Torrington got a lot more tabulators than we got.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
You got 3 different voting spots, so.
Yeah,
You know, when we ever heard that we were getting 7, we're like, where are we gonna put these things? It all worked out.
Well, thank you, ladies. That was
Yeah,
very
thank you for
informative.
all you do.
While we have you both here, early voting started today. Any idea how many participated?
26.
That's good.
Yeah,
We went up one since I came down. Snuck in last minute.
we're here for 13 more days, so come on and see us.
While we have you, do you wanna, because there's some unique hours for some late nights. Do you wanna just quickly, and I would just
Say it at
ask
the
if you
mic.
could come a little bit closer to the microphone?
Our early voting hours are from 10 until 6 every day except for the 28th and the 30th of October. We will be in our office from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item B, 25-06, a resolution supporting the use of grant matching capital funds.
Mr. Mayor, if I can combine B and C together because they kind of are interchangeable with one another. As you're well aware, we do have a Sue Grossman Shovels in the Ground committee that has been formed, that has been working very diligently to try and launch this project. Take you back a little bit, if you remember, we did get a federal direct spend of $2 million. I had the unfortunate pleasure of bringing to this board probably a year ago that when we received the grant, the town was unaware that there was a $500,000 match to it. We did ask the Connecticut DOT if they'd be willing to write us a check for $500,000, and they actually did. So currently, we have $2.5 million in grant funding towards the completion of this project. Although a quite fair bit of money, we do have some early projections on what it's gonna cost to build Phase 3 and Phase 4. I don't wanna hit you all with the prices, but it's up there. I mean, roughly, if everything goes the way it is, you're, in the tune of, the project's gonna cost about $5 million. The committee's gonna sit down Thursday. I think we're gonna look at it a little bit different, but I move forward with that the Connecticut Department of Energy does offer a CT recreational trail grant that you can apply for. There's roughly, I believe, $2 million that's up for grabs. Tom and I met. We plan on putting in a grant application for $500,000, but we're gonna do it in 2 phases, in that we don't wanna have all or nothing. But one of the phase 1 that we're gonna say is that we want the fence and the posts for, Phase 3, and the fence and the posts for Phase 4. That would roughly equal $500,000, giving the trail grant people an option to say, hey, we'll fund all $500,000, or maybe we're only gonna fund $300,000 and you guys are on your own for $200,000. But the more money we raise, the more realistic that we can get 3 and 4 completed. Before you tonight is really two requests. First one being is to give the town permission to go out and get the grant, but if there is part of the recreational trail grant, that there is a 20% local match. The good news with the 20% local match is that we can apply in-kind contributions. And what in-kind contributions mean is any work that the town is doing. In fact, the meetings that we all have been sitting down for the last 6, 7 months, those people that have been meeting, there is an hourly fee that we can assign, hourly rate that we can assign to each one of those individuals that are in the room, and we can actually put that towards our 20% match. Currently, right now, we do have I want to quote the right number, we have $160,000 in this capital account to, and it was a great idea when the board established it, it was long before I got here, but to go after when there are local matches and that we have the money ready to go. The ask tonight is to go out and I'm just gonna say it plainly. Tom was very aggressive and he says up to $160,000. I don't think we're going to need, nor would I ever agree to spend up to $160,000 because we're only going for $500,000. We know full well that that's the maximum we'll probably ask for the trail grant. But the ask tonight is to use the capital match fund to offset any 20% that's needed cash-wise if we can't offset it with in-kind contributions. And then obviously the second ask would be a letter from the board signed by the mayor with support of us going after this trail grant. Questions?
Any discussion? Questions?
No, I'm worth $30 an hour, I learned.
I was actually thinking that Selectman Perez and I were worth $150 an hour.
And then Candace is worth $30 or $150 an hour. And so we think we got the match covered.
On that note, I move the Board of Selectmen submit a letter of support for the town of Winchester's Connecticut Recreational Trails Grant application on behalf of the Board of Selectmen and authorize the mayor to sign the letter on behalf of the Board of Selectmen.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous?
Was that 2537, or we skip over 2506? 'Cause
So-
we supported the resolution
We
too,
did the
right?
action step before we did the
Right.
resolution, it's perfectly fine, so I would need action on resolution 25-06.
Move that we do the resolution 2506, supporting the use of designated grant matching capital funds.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous? Thank you. Moving on to item D, 25-38, refunds as recommended by the Collector of Revenue.
As you see, we have an amount, and all of them were based on COCs in the amount of $647.66. I'll note that this was signed by Pam, our newly interim tax collector, because our current tax collector is out on maternity leave, and congratulations to her and her family.
I move that the Board of Selectmen authorize the refunds recommended by the Collector of Revenue in the amount of $647.66.
Second.
Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Bill. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous? Item 12, citizens' comments. The Board of Selectmen welcomes public comments. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes and may speak once. Does anyone wish to speak? Item 13, Selectmen's comments and reports.
Trunk or treat.
Trunk or treat next Saturday.
I want to thank Sergeant Justin Duvall for allowing me to join him for the evening shift on Saturday night. It was an interesting evening. Once again, this is the second ride-along I've done with our police department. I can report that the interaction between the police and the residents is something that I admire. They're doing a really nice job in the way they interact. I did learn some important things from Sergeant Duvall, and I look forward to working on some of these things in the future. But thank you to him for allowing me to join him for the evening.
So, just a reminder, tomorrow's the ribbon cutting, 1 o'clock for the new Domino's. Thursday, 7:30 a.m., the ribbon cutting for Marshalls.
Speaking of Domino's, they have their their hiring signs all over town. And they're all on town property.
Yes, they are. We did send Jeff out, we sent them, but I'm looking forward to tomorrow, because I will be there a little bit earlier, and I think we're gonna use a different approach this time to They are all over town. I've seen them and, yeah. So, we obviously support our new businesses, but we also can't clutter up our town.
This coming Friday night, the Winston Youth Service Bureau has their annual fundraiser at Crystal Peak. The Roaring Twenties, I believe it's called. Tickets are still available on their website, I believe.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Good night.
This has gotta be a record.
I don't think so. We had one earlier.
A little earlier?
Think
I don't
so.
know. Much earlier.
Maybe not. I think we had a 7:45 or 7:31.